Welcome to the Astrid Mueller Show. My name is Astrid Mueller. I got well from breast cancer stage 4, and I wrote the book Permission to Sparkle. I'm on a mission to inspire people around the world to what's possible. Today, I'm here with a special Integrative Wellness Leader Talk series where I interview leaders in wellness and we get to discover ideas to support ourselves: body, mind, emotion, spirit, soul. Get ready for an inspiring interview and to discover what's possible. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to have a very special interview guest with us today. She's one of the members that is in my Integrative Wellness Biz Lounge, our private space for really awesome providers. And she is in a really cool space right now in the planet. She is in Brazil and she's studying with shamans and she's studying herbalism. And I'm going to read her background real quick. So Amanda Campelo-Svechinsky, who's right here already, she helps women who are feeling lost in some way in their lives and looking for their next magical, actual, full essence living. To discover their soul's mission through Akashic Records, Reiki, coaching, and cacao. And she's guiding them to clarity and fulfillment. And she has some really cool things up her sleeve. And I'm very excited to dive in and talk about integrative wellness to inspire you all in how you can optimize your own wellness in your life. Amanda, welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you, Astrid, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. So tell us a bit more. I introduced you loosely, and I know words are just words, but you have your magical story in life. Tell us more about where you are and what is the magic that you do for people so people can meet you in your own words.
Well, I should start by saying that I was born in Brazil, but I left Brazil a long time ago. I was 17 when I left Brazil and I moved to the US. And that's where everything started for me. That's where I went to school and started my professional career, but in the corporate world. So that is another story. So I had translation companies in 3 different countries. I had over 500 collaborators, but I always felt a calling to connect with spirituality. So ever since I was a child, I channeled. And the funny thing is, I was born in Brazil, so my native language is Portuguese, but I always channeled in English. And life takes us different places for us to go back to our essence. And that's where I found myself when I had another big awakening and I decided to surrender and really go into my spiritual path. So all started with Reiki. So I started practicing Reiki, and then I had a very transformative Akashic Record session, which showed me a lifetime that I've had and sort of paved the way to my purpose in this lifetime, why I had chosen to come back. And after that, I knew that I had to follow this path. So I ended up becoming certified on Akashic Records and practicing and reading the Akashic Records for clients. Then I became an Akashic Records teacher to teach others to read the Akashic Records for themselves and for clients. And then the mid of last year, I got an invitation to come back to Brazil after so long. At that time, invitation from my spiritual team, I must say. At the time, I didn't know why. I had no idea why. And the word of my year for 2024 was surrender. So I had just surrender and follow the guidance and knowing that the steps would be shown in front of me as I walk them. So last year, July of last year, 2024, my husband and I decided to come to Brazil, not knowing what's going to happen. And it's been 6 months now. And so much has changed. From then, we were part of a retreat in indigenous lands, and a lot of things started opening for us. I got a really, it was like memories, stepping on ancestral lands. It was like I could remember something that I had no idea that I had lived.
Wow, really? You connected with a past lifetime? Is that what you're saying? That you sensed that you've been there before?
Yes, I didn't see anything because I, ever since I was little, I see and I hear things, but this was just feeling. I felt home for the first time in my life,
Okay.
and really home. And so after we left the retreat, we knew that we needed to come back here, but we didn't know how. And then a few days later, we got invited, my husband and I got invited to come back and live in indigenous land within a tribe here and learn directly from the shaman. And that was such an honor for us because that's not something we can choose to do, just say, oh, I want to go and I want to learn and just pay, that's it. No, we were invited to come here and everything changed. So the past 2 months have been so incredible because we went to the Amazon and we learned so much in the Amazon, and now we are in the northeast coast of Brazil and learning herbalism and shamanism and things that, if I think a year ago, I never thought that I would be on this path.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing is that I'm on a healing path myself.
Yeah.
And now learning that healing is a lifetime process, I guess. We are constantly healing and learning different parts of us we didn't even know. And now I'm just here. I'm in an indigenous tribe. It's like a little forest, but a little forest beachfront. So
Uh,
um, I'm here integrating everything, waking up, going to sleep, breathing nature, very connected with my feet on the earth and very connected with Mother Earth and all the medicines, all the beautiful lessons and things that we can learn from nature and just in love.
I love it. Thank you so much. And I love that you are bringing a really interesting background and possibility for people because you also lived in the Western world, you worked in a corporate environment, and you mentioned that you actually worked with translation companies. So I always find that really interesting. Our path in life, I find that we learn certain things for a reason, we go through certain challenges for a reason, and at some point, everything comes together, right? We have like superpowers that suddenly make sense. So as you're here in this interview right now, I feel you have a special gift to translate for people in the Western world and inspire them to integrative wellness. So, with your wisdom from back then to now, how would you explain how you are living in more wellness right now? And you also, at some point, side note, Akashic Records, I would love for you to explain that too for people who have never heard this before.
Absolutely. Okay. So first, about how I'm integrating wellness. Well, I'm rediscovering, and I like to say that I'm remembering and rediscovering because everything is already within us.
Mhm.
We were just conditioned to think that the answers are outside of us. But I truly believe that everything we hold all the wisdom that we need, all the knowledge that we need, and then it's a matter of using that knowledge, adding action into it and transforming it into wisdom. Because I like to say it's not, doesn't come from me, but I like to say that wisdom is knowledge plus action. Knowledge plus action equals wisdom.
Hmm.
So, and it's all within us. And when I said before that I remembered, this place and the plants and the scent, when I get this little plant that I had never seen, in real life, and I smell it, it brings memories that I have no idea where they're coming from. So it's all within me. And now I'm learning that I can heal in a more holistic way, in a more with peace, heal the body and heal the mind and heal the spirit in different ways. And all of that is possible. It's not it's not an impossible mission, like sometimes we are told that we can't heal or, oh, you have to do this or that. It's a lot simpler than all of that. And the knowledge is all within us. We just need to remember and to use the help of the wise ones who have been doing this for a while and bring nature, because nature is here to support us,
Nice.
and just bring it to help us in this path, in this mission.
Okay, awesome. So I'm hearing a bunch of things that can be very helpful for people who are looking for more wellness. I'm hearing one is that you are a great example of following your heart. So when you heard the call or felt the invitation and or tangibly invited, you trusted that even though you gave up everything, right? So you followed your heart. And then
Yeah.
you notice how you're feeling. I'm hearing that you are using your inner compass really well of like noticing, oh, I feel at home here. And like it sounds
Mhm.
like your personal compass has very much to do with like feeling grounded and listening to where if things feel right and being present and listening to being present with magic, also like smelling a plant and pausing, right?
Mhm.
That's like one thing that many people who are super busy don't take the time. And I'll let you take it from here. Like, what comes up when you hear that?
No, when I hear that, I can see myself a few months ago because I was, as I said, I'm on a healing path. So, and I wouldn't take the time to just pause and breathe,
Yeah.
take a deep breath in, and just be with it.
Hmm.
And when my guides invited me to go to the Amazon, was simply to breathe.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I was I was expecting
Yeah, nice. Hmm.
I was expecting like a big thing to happen, like, oh, I'm going to the Amazon, something major is going to happen. And I was sort of, I'm not embarrassed, ashamed to say that I was getting a little frustrated because I was there. I was in the middle of the Amazon. I was like, what am I supposed to do here? They're going through the biggest drought in so many years, and I couldn't, take the boats and go to the tribes. I couldn't do much because it was so dry. The river was 18 meters below the normal level, so it was very dry. And and then I just heard that just take a breath, just go in the forest and take a deep breath, breathe from the lungs of the world. And I
Wow.
was like, wow, that's sometimes it's so simple, but
Yeah.
we are so busy and so used to wanting huge things, huge accomplishment,
Yeah.
big things to go in, bam, and happen in our lives.
Mhm.
Sometimes just a matter of taking a deep breath.
Yeah. So I love one thing that I hear you say too is that you mentioned they were saying and your guides. So I'm going to translate. You mean that you're connected to spirit, right? And you're hearing your intuition very clearly, and
Mm-hmm.
basically guidance from the universe, higher guidance,
Mm-hmm.
however people see this, you hear this. And I'm also hearing you say that you hear it when you allow yourself to pause and to then follow your hunches, follow where it feels right. So is that can those be like first steps, or how would you say to your younger self when you were in corporate and you were busy and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, like how do you guide others from there to where you are in wellness? What's the
Yeah.
first step? Go ahead.
It's a matter when you're saying about the compass, it's a matter of calibrating our compass. And how do we do that? Is by listening to our hearts and trying and working hard to be guided by the heart
Mhm.
more than guided by the mind,
Nice.
because we're so conditioned in the corporate world and in life in general to listen to our mind. It's like, oh, but that's not rational. What I'm hearing is not rational. It's not. A lot of things in life are not rational, but we are conditioned to believe that there is a reason for everything
Mhm.
and listen to our minds more than our hearts. But our hearts know better. Our
Mhm.
hearts know everything. So just a matter of pausing and silencing everything around us and just asking
Mhm.
and listening to what the heart is saying. And for that, I think cacao a lot for that. So
Cacao.
cacao is, yeah, cacao is a big heart opener and really helps me when I am in my mind and trying to find, the answers, find the reasoning for everything and the logic behind things that are happening. I just pause and I breathe and I ask my heart the path that I should take. And sometimes it's just wait, just don't do anything, just stay there and trust.
Love it. So let me mention to people that you do cacao ceremonies and you have an online circle, right? Where I
Yeah.
know busy people have a hard time just hearing their wisdom. Maybe when I started out, I was literally numb and I did not hear my inner guidance and I just felt in this dense space many years ago and was like frustrated with what's happening in my life and all that stuff. And so
Yeah.
you can actually guide people to hear their own inner wisdom, right? Can you share a bit more of what you're doing and what magical cacao things could help people there?
Yeah. Cacao is a wonderful plant medicine. It's a heart opener. And I like to say that cacao doesn't put anything. It's not um what is the word? If it's not hallucinogenic. It doesn't bring anything to you. It's a plant medicine. And differently than other plant medicines, it doesn't put anything inside of you. It just shows you the door.
Hmm,
And when you're ready, it will open the door for you, and then you walk through the door.
nice.
So it's a gentle medicine that helps you see what's already inside of you. So all of those answers, all of those guidances that I was mentioning, like how facilitates the bringing it to life, bringing it out to you.
Nice. Okay. I love it. And you do have such things available to people where they could, via Zoom, they could meet with you and be present
Yes,
in such ceremonies,
yes,
right? Okay,
yes.
sweet.
I have a circle, an online circle that we do weekly, cacao circles together. And I also see clients one-on-one and
Mhm.
guide them one-on-one directly through Zoom with cacao. So when they book a session, they receive in their home, it already includes a brick of cacao, ceremonial cacao. I use cacao from Guatemala. So it's ceremonial cacao from Guatemala that's prepared and handmade. Everything, the whole process is uh, by hand. So everything very spiritual and blessed by Mayans in Guatemala. So, and that's shipped to the client's home
Oh, that is so
before.
special. I love that.
Yeah. So, and before we connect. So, when they book the session, they will receive the cacao and they received a little guide on how to prepare the cacao and how to infuse it. I also study the Mayan wisdom. So I follow the Mayan calendar, the Cholkit calendar,
You've
which
done that
is
for me before. I love that so much. Yes,
yeah,
yes. You give me guidance on
yeah,
what to do in life, when is helpful, or in business.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So every single day is ruled by an energy, a different energy. And the Maya believe that we can be complete humans when we're able to follow and to learn from the guidance that we receive every single day through the 20 different energies in the Mayan calendar. So once we master those, we become a complete human being. And
Oh,
that's a challenge. So every single day is something different that we need to master within ourselves to be able to be a better human being.
You just said something that is really interesting, and that brings me back to the topic of integrative wellness and how we can optimize wellness and well-being. You were saying that the Mayan calendar and the things you're learning and how you're helping people to be complete human being. What I'm hearing from that is to access our full wisdom, not just the logical brain, but the heart wisdom. You help people to then also optimize their wellness, right? Can you speak more to that? Like, how does that affect your wellness when you hear your heart wisdom. I have answers, but I want to hear from you.
Well, I think, well, first of all, using the heart and what the Maya believe, when we follow a life connected to nature, fully connected to nature, we bring forth gratitude.
Oh, no.
And gratitude really changes life. But that's like a whole completely different topic because I could go on and on and on and on about it. But the Mayab, they believe that we should be grateful for everything,
Mm,
for even the challenges in our lives, because everything brings lessons. And when we start learning from the lessons with the eyes, with the lenses of gratitude, we start integrating why that happened for us, not to us, because everything happens for us, for our learning and for our development. So if I'm experiencing a challenge in my health, what is that challenge trying to tell me?
mhm,
Maybe I'm not aligned with the path that I should be aligned with. Maybe I went too much to the brain and not so much the heart. Maybe I misalign with the path. And then following the calendar brings us back to connecting fully with nature
mhm.
and connecting to our purpose and connecting with the cosmos and the energies and with our cycles, with the moon and everything, the following the cycles of nature, because we have cycles that we should follow. And a lot of times we are conditioned not to follow, to just like, oh, it's okay, I have to do this. So I will disregard what my body's telling me and do what I have to do, quote unquote, have to do. So the calendar really teaches us to go back to that, to be
Mhm.
grateful for everything. Now living here in the indigenous lands, we learned, I sort of knew a little about that, but here it's so present. And my husband learned about it, that we always ask for permission and we are always grateful for everything. So we go out, we're here, we're in the middle of like a little jungle here, lots of leaves, lots of seeds, everything on the ground. Before we go down, it's like, oh, look at this leaf, it's so beautiful. We ask for permission because, and that goes back to the Maya as well, and a lot of indigenous tribes and origins throughout the world. They believe in this connection with nature. So in the Maya, they believe that everything that exists has spirit. So if I want to touch this leaf, I will ask for permission. If I will eat an animal, if I have to, eat an animal for my sustenance, I will thank that animal for bringing sustenance to my body.
Mm.
I will use herbs for treatment, for tinctures or for teas, and I will thank them for bringing life back to my body. So everything, when we shift the mentality of everything is gratitude, there's a reason for everything happening in our lives for us. That on itself changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even the challenges we see, we it's not that we welcome them, but we accept them as something that we have to go through because we perhaps need to learn something from it
Mm.
and be thankful for it, that we're having the opportunity to learn from its lessons.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I love our conversation. I feel I have to sneeze here soon.
Energy.
Um, so I know we're keeping this interview time kind of concise so that there's a burst of inspiration for people. And I know you already gave a bunch of really cool inspirations. Like I'm going to recap just a few, just like taking a breath and pausing was one of the biggest steps for you to start pausing and then listening to your heart. And that's where we also access our wellness wisdom,
Mhm.
our connection with nature, perhaps people listening to this replay might be so busy, but they can take a break and then they see a tree, and maybe they will take a pause with the tree and just stand there for a moment or go to a forest and breathe. And I love that you alluded to the magic of nature, that it brings us to gratitude also. I always feel that when I walk with dogs every day, that it has healing energy. And I've heard that described by other spiritual healers also. Nature has all kinds of health beneficial things for us. Um, I am so excited that you're already supporting people and that you are learning more from shamans and more about herbalism, and that people who are drawn to you can come to you for more of all of that inner peace, of that heart connection, of perhaps going from corporate to fulfilled if they're not, right?
Yeah, if they're
Whatever.
not, it's okay if they are fulfilled in corporate. It
Yeah, that
doesn't
is
mean that they, yeah.
right.
Yeah, and I like to say that I was fulfilled for a long time.
Mhm.
Um, that everything has a reason to happen.
Mhm.
And my companies, the companies that I had, they were my babies, and I love them. And I am so grateful for everything that it brought and allowed me to do.
Mhm.
But it was a cycle. We are cyclical beings, right? So, and
Love it.
the time ended, and I think that's a challenge that we all have. Sometimes the cycle ends, and we keep pushing it forward. We keep like forcing it to be.
Yeah, isn't that a thing? It's so funny. And like what I see, and I wrote a book, Permission to Sparkle, and what I always tell people is like catch limiting mind stories. And you just mentioned one that we sometimes think, oh, we should be doing something, or we should continue to do something, and those can be limiting mind stories and not necessarily listening to the heart, right? The heart sometimes guides us in different ways that make no sense, like you said, like go to the Amazon and
Mhm.
what?
Well,
So
I'm so hard to create my companies and and to get where I am. Am I going to just give up on it right now? No, no way. And then it's like listen to your heart, and your heart is saying that it was wonderful, it was perfect, but the cycle has ended.
yeah.
Now it's time for something else.
It takes courage, and also it takes courage to trust the unknown, right? Because a lot of times we're so conditioned to want to see everything. We want everything makes sense. We want to be safe and all those paradigms, right? And like when we find true next steps and true higher well-being and more fulfilled well-being, sometimes it takes courage to do things that make no logical sense, but that somehow feel exciting, maybe scary, but exciting, and that's
Yeah.
uh, so lovely. So we could talk a long time. I do have one last question. I did want to mention the Akashic Records for you. Like, if you can explain that to people who've never heard it before, can you give a summary of what that is, and then we'll tell people where they can find you.
Absolutely. The Akashic Records are known to be a library of all the past, all the timelines in someone's life. So past, present, and future lifetimes. So it's like a repository of all the experiences and everything that has gone into a soul's history. So when we access the Akashic Records, and I say that anyone can access their own Akashic Records. They can. There are different books and different meditations, but sometimes we get too stuck to the mind and trying to make sense of everything, and we don't allow ourselves to enter it. So the Akashic Records, I usually explain to my clients that to access the Akashic Records, we ask for permission. So everything in spirituality, it's not what we want necessarily, but what is best for us at that time. So when I'm hired by a client to access their Akashic Records, I always explain to them that I will attempt to access their records. I will ask their higher selves for permission, and the permission is granted if that will be for the higher self of the client. But if there's for some reason uh, accessing it and seeing what happened in the past will not come for their highest good. If they're not ready for the information or for any reason that we may not understand, the access will not be granted. It has happened a couple of times with me, with those hundreds of sessions that I have had with clients, and it has happened a couple of times that I have not been granted permission. In those cases, I just stay there in their field and sending healing to that lifetime, to the current lifetime. And there's a reason why access was not granted. It's not up to me to ask why and to understand why. Their spiritual team knows better. And so I just stay there and I send a violet flame. I work with the violet flame as well, and the violet flame, and I send Reiki to the timeline, to the complete timeline, so that whatever needs healing and is able to be healed, that it's healed at a time. If it's not able to be healed because of different spiritual scenarios, that at least a relief is brought to the client. So that's what the Akashic Records brings, so it's an understanding of things that may have happened in the past, in past lifetimes. They are attached and still holding the client back from reaching fulfillment in this lifetime. So perhaps things agreements and vows that they made in past lifetimes that they are not aware of in this lifetime, they're holding them back and they don't feel fulfilled, and they feel that there's something, holding them back and they don't know why. Perhaps that can be explained through accessing the Akashic Records and seeing what may have happened in different lifetimes.
But thank you so much for elaborating a bit. And I know that there's some mystical things behind things. We can't explain all of these things fully. And that's you giving yourself permission to be curious and go to wherever you're inspired to, right? Because everybody has different modalities, and different options can lead us to more fulfillment and to more wellness, body, mind, emotion, spirit, soul. So for all those who do feel curious to learn more about you and perhaps connect with you, Amanda, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at heart and just a letter N, soul.co. My website is heartandsoul.com.
Yeah.
And I am on school.
Yeah. You have your own community there too.
I have my own community on School for Women, for Soulful Women. It's school/soulful.
Nice.
And our community is the Soulful Goddess Healing Circle.
Very nice. It's lovely.
And I'm here.
So nice. Thank you so much. And it's very special too that we were able to find a time, because I know sometimes you have shamanic things happening and you're invited to go. So I'm grateful that we're able to be live together.
Me too.
Thank you so much, Amanda Svechinsky. Did I say it right? Amanda Campelo-Svechinsky. Sorry, that's your name, Amanda Campelo-Svechinsky from heartandsoulco.com. I'm very happy. Thank you for all your wisdom, and everyone watching the replay. We would love to hear any questions you have. Feel free to comment below and reach out to either one of us, whether you want to learn more of Amanda or more of the Integrative Wellness Network and meet other providers like this. Do subscribe our channel for more interviews like this. And we're all here to inspire you to optimize your wellness, body, mind, emotion, spirit, soul, and to live fully and enjoy your life in all the sparkling happiness and wellness that you want. Thank you, everyone. And thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you, Astrid.
Thank you so much for watching or listening. Question: what did this spark in you today? Take one baby step and act on it. One small step can change your world and will ripple to others. The world really needs more sparkle. If you like more inspiration like this, come join us in our free Integrative Wellness Oasis on School. We are an amazing community of wellness lovers and professionals where you get to discover new ideas, resources, and also really cool virtual retreats. We love going on virtual cruises too. If you loved this episode, please share it with someone who might love this inspiration as well. Until next time, keep exploring and follow the sparkle.